Hi again folks, how you all doing? This is a Heljan Class 35 that was sent to me by John. He told me that he bought this brand new several years ago and that it's never been run until recently. And he found that it makes a nasty noise in one direction and one of the bogies isn't running properly, it seems, but seems to be okay in the other direction. Well, let's give it a wee try. Oh no, I don't like the sound of that. Yeah, it's okay in that direction. Yeah, I'm not going to run that anymore for risk of doing any further damage. Let's get it into the shed and we'll see what's what. Right then, a Heljan Hymek. This could be fun. With Hellions, I always like to try and look at the user manual because it will tell you how the body comes off. How to remove the locomotive body. Step 1, gently unclip the body from the chassis at the location shown below. Step 2, slide the body carefully away from the chassis, taking care not to damage the wires for the cab interior lights. So it tells you the locations of the clips. So yeah, body clips on. Right, okay, should be easy enough. I do like a Class 35. Unfortunately, I never ran in my neck of the woods. I think the furthest north they got was Lancashire, I think. But yeah, I always wanted one when I was a little boy. I always wanted a Hymek, and I bought one of the old Hornby ones when I got back into the hobby. But I think I'll probably offload it. It sits on my shelf and I never ever run it. So yeah, I think we'll pass it on. But I do like them. And this is a very nice model, as most of the Hellions are, I think anyway. They can be an absolute nightmare to work on, but they're very nice models. So the noise this was making, it's awful dull in here today, but then it's a dull day outside. I need to do something about the lighting in here. It's yeah, it could be brighter. Oh wait, I've not got a light on. Wait a minute. There we go, that's better. That's more like it. But yeah, the noise this was making, it sounds to me like possibly one of the drive shafts isn't engaged with the drive cup, or the drive cup's split or broken. But we shall see. Right, we'll get the sponge. So open that up there. And this should lift out, but the body is connected to the PCB for the interior lighting. Come on, out you come. There we go. Let me just sort this out, get cocktail sticks out the way. Lift it out the sponge, and there we go. So it's a 21 pin socket. I've got lots of little switches. They're all set to on. We'll leave that well alone. So I can't see the drive shafts. We're going to have to lift this PCB out the road. I think it's just held in place with this rubber clip. Don't see any screws. I do like that. There we go. So that drive shaft there, I think, is the culprit. You can see it's not quite inserted into the drive cup fully. So I think that's been slipping. At the other end, it appears to be okay. So this might be a very simple repair. It might just be a case of just pushing that drive shaft into the drive cup. But if this model hasn't been run for a while, it maybe needs a wee spot of oil here and there. Can I just get this a little bit more out the way? The wires are all plugged in, so there's no soldering. But let's see if we can just tweak this drive shaft. Right, I've pushed the drive shaft in, but I've got a funny feeling it might just pop out again quite easily. Let's just give this a wee test run. Okay, turn on the power. And that's running absolutely fine in that direction. And the other way. So yeah, that's all it was, just the drive shaft wasn't fully inserted. So I was blethering away there, working on this, and I didn't have my camera switched on. I had this switched on, I didn't have this camera on. So I took the gearbox cap off this bogie and put a load of oil in there just to make sure that that's going to run fine. But it's all perfectly clean and the oil hasn't dried up or anything, so it's all fine. But we'll do the same at the other end. Off it comes. Open up the gearbox. Yeah, again, it's all nice and clean. Put some gear oil in there. Close that up. Mop up some of that excess. So I'm just going to push the drive cup away from the worm gear a bit, just to make sure that that drive shaft doesn't pop out again, because you know the motor's pretty secure. It's glued to the rubber bracket, and the rubber bracket doesn't really move in the chassis. So I don't think it's a case of the motor having moved. It's more just the drive cup is in the wrong position. Secure that back in. And it goes. All looks fine. We test on the test track. Alright, final wee test. It's a very nice runner. It's only about 150 milliamps. It's fine. So there we go, a nice easy job. Don't see that very often about a Heljan. Righto then, we'll pull it out the shed. Righto, so that's John's Heljan Hymek sorted out. Just the case of a drive cut being shoved on a bit too far, so one of the drive shafts wasn't engaging properly. Otherwise, a very nice model and a quick easy fix for a change. Thanks to all of you who commented on my last video about rolling roads. Most of you seem to agree that unless you're doing DCC stuff and or have limited space or no means to do continuous running, that you don't really need them. But they can be useful. So yeah, a couple of people suggested some other reasons for using them, which I didn't think about, such as O-gauge models. Yeah, I can see them being useful for those. Space is even more of an issue. Warming models up, which can be a good thing to do if you need models to perform as well as possible. Maybe you're doing a demonstration or at an exhibition or something. Warm the models up behind the scenes before putting them on display. So I can see the use case there, and also live steam models. I didn't really think of that one, but yeah, live steam models, a rolling road would be quite a good thing to have. And just to let you know that the layout goblin paid another visit. He hasn't been around for a while, but I came into the room the other day to find a couple of wind turbines with people stuck to them, a couple of new Highland cows, and an invasion of pandas. Normality has been resumed though, don't worry. Alright, I shall get this Heljan Hymek packed up and sent back to John, and I shall catch you later, folks.